Welcome to this deep dive,
Okay.
exploring the mind of Carl Sagan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you shared some pretty fascinating source material with me,
And
excerpts from his Wikipedia entry and his novel Contact.
yeah.
So today we're going to be using these sources to kind of get under the hood,
Okay.
see what made Sagan tick. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
what were his passions?
Mm-hmm.
What was his unique way of looking at the universe?
Right.
It's not just going to be about the facts, though.
Right.
It's going to be about, like, catching that spark of curiosity that he was so famous for.
You got a point there.
Right.
Looking at Sagan's biography alongside his fiction,
Yeah.
it's like seeing two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
You've got the Wikipedia entry, which lays out his intellectual journey.
Right.
And then Contact gives us this incredible window into how he viewed
Yeah.
science, humanity, our search for meaning.
Okay, so imagine young
Yeah.
Carl Sagan just completely captivated by the stars. His Wikipedia entry talks about this really pivotal moment for him
Yeah.
at the library when he learned that the sun
Oh, wow.
was actually a star,
Right.
just like all the others in the night sky.
Yeah.
And this was just like a total revelation for him.
Yeah.
Seems to have like deeply shaped his future.
It's easy to picture him as a child,
Yeah.
gazing up at the night sky just filled with wonder.
Mhm.
But what I find particularly interesting is how his early experiences at the American Museum of Natural History
Oh, yeah.
fed that wonder even more.
Okay.
He vividly describes walking among the dinosaur skeletons
Right.
and those incredibly lifelike dioramas.
Right.
There's a sense of scale and awe that clearly made a huge impact on him.
He even mentions a grizzly bear exhibit,
Oh, wow.
standing tall and just staring him right in the eye.
Wow.
Do you think like that's where his passion for sharing that awe, that sense of wonder with the world was born?
Yeah.
Like he wanted everyone to experience that same
Yeah.
like feeling of smallness and amazement?
It's certainly a compelling connection.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, that's
Yeah.
precisely what he achieved with Cosmos.
Right.
His groundbreaking TV series.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about delivering scientific facts.
Mm-hmm.
It was about making people feel the universe,
Right.
experience its vastness and beauty.
Right. Sagan was all about sparking curiosity, not just rattling off information.
Right.
In fact, one of his most famous quotes
Yeah.
from his Wikipedia entry
Okay.
is about science being a way of thinking,
Right.
not just a body of knowledge.
Yes.
It kind of gets to the core of what he stood for.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say?
That quote acts as a guiding principle for his entire life.
Yeah.
It emphasizes critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
questioning assumptions,
Right.
and constantly testing our understanding against evidence.
Right.
It's not just about what we know,
Yeah.
but how we think.
And that's especially relevant today, right?
It is.
With the overwhelming amount of information we're constantly bombarded with.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting
Yeah.
because Sagan himself expressed this foreboding about America's future,
He did.
worried that critical thinking would get lost in the information age.
Right. He was concerned that as our reliance on information grew,
Right.
people might struggle to distinguish
Yeah.
between truth and what simply feels good.
Right.
Almost like he predicted a world of information overload,
Yeah.
leading to poor decisions,
Right.
losing sight of what's actually true.
Makes you think about the reasons you might be drawn to a deep dive like this.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's the desire to like cut through the clutter
Right?
and understand what truly matters in a world that's increasingly complex.
It's about wanting to develop that critical lens,
Mm-hmm.
to see through the noise
Right.
and make informed decisions.
Yeah.
I think Sagan would have appreciated that.
Sagan wasn't just a thinker, though.
Right.
He was a man of action, deeply committed to his beliefs. His Wikipedia entry mentions his anti-nuclear activism
Mm-hmm.
and his arrest at the Nevada test site.
Oh, wow.
It speaks volumes about his willingness to stand up for what he thought was right.
It seems he saw a profound connection between scientific understanding
Mm-hmm.
and social responsibility.
Right.
For Sagan, it wasn't enough to simply understand the world.
Right.
He felt a responsibility to act upon that understanding,
Yeah.
even when it meant going against the grain.
Now let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and dive into Contact.
All right.
Even in his fiction, that same inquisitive spirit,
Yeah.
that need to understand how things work at their core,
Mm-hmm.
shines through.
It does.
Take young Ellie, the main character.
Right.
She's constantly trying to figure things out,
Yeah.
from how a radio works to the mysteries of the stars.
It's fascinating how Sagan captures that childlike wonder in Ellie.
Right.
It's almost like he's showing us the birth of a scientific mind. That initial spark of curiosity that fuels a lifelong pursuit of knowledge.
And there's this amusing little anecdote in Contact about Pinocchio.
Oh, yeah?
Ellie's comparing the book to the movie
Okay.
and realizes the book has, like, so much more detail.
Right.
It's a seemingly simple observation,
Right.
but it really speaks volumes about Sagan's approach to learning.
He wasn't content with surface-level explanations.
Right.
He always sought a deeper understanding,
Yeah.
pushing beyond the obvious, recognizing that true knowledge often lies in the details that others might overlook.
There's another great scene
Okay.
where young Ellie is in math class, and she's questioning the value of pi.
Okay.
She's not just accepting what she's told.
Right.
She genuinely wants to understand why things are the way they are.
And of course, her teacher dismisses her question as stupid.
Yeah.
But for Sagan, Ellie embodies a different kind of learning.
Right.
He valued curiosity and asking questions,
Mm-hmm.
even more than simply knowing the right answers.
Yeah.
It's a subtle but powerful message about the importance of nurturing that inquisitive spirit.
Which brings us to Ellie's struggles as she gets older.
Okay.
She's clearly brilliant, passionate about science,
Yeah?
but she's also an outsider,
Right.
especially among the boys in her classes.
She even develops this physics voice,
Yeah.
this tougher persona just to be heard and taken seriously.
Right.
There's humor in it,
Yeah.
but it also hints at the challenges women often face in STEM fields.
Right.
Did Sagan draw upon his own experiences navigating the academic world
Yeah.
to craft this aspect of Ellie's character?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's easy to imagine him encountering similar situations.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me think about the obstacles many women still face today
Right.
in pursuing their scientific passions.
Absolutely.
What do you think? Have we made enough progress since Sagan's time?
It's definitely something to ponder.
Yeah.
There have been strides, undoubtedly,
Mm-hmm.
but there's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
Sagan was a vocal advocate for women in STEM, and it's clear that he recognized those systemic biases
Yeah.
that often hinder their progress.
And then there's this pivotal moment where Ellie makes this calculation about the surface temperature of Venus
Mm-hmm.
and realizes her romantic vision of a habitable planet
Yeah.
is completely wrong.
Right.
It's like a mini lesson in the scientific method,
It is?
where our cherished beliefs sometimes need to be discarded
Yes.
when confronted with evidence.
It's a powerful example of how science forces us to confront reality,
Mm-hmm.
even if it means letting go of beautiful but false ideas.
Yeah.
It's about valuing truth above all else,
Right.
even when it challenges our preconceived notions.
Have you ever had to change your mind about something you strongly believed in
Of course.
because of new evidence?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not always easy.
No?
But those moments of reevaluation are essential for growth and understanding.
Right.
Exactly. And for Sagan, that process of challenging assumptions and embracing new knowledge was at the heart of scientific progress.
So we've established that Sagan was all about encouraging curiosity, critical thinking, but there's another aspect of his work that we haven't touched upon yet.
Okay.
His awareness of human biases
Right.
and how they can shape our understanding of the world.
You're right. And it's often woven subtly into his writing,
Yeah.
like a gentle nudge to the reader
Yeah.
to question assumptions and look beyond the surface.
There's this small but significant detail in Contact
Okay.
where Ellie comes across this newspaper headline,
All right.
Gorillas Capture Joburg Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Sagan slips it in almost casually,
Mm-hmm.
but it raises this key question.
What's that?
Who decides who are freedom fighters and who are terrorists?
It's a brilliant way of illustrating how our perceptions of events
That's right.
are shaped by language and perspective.
Yeah.
Sagan constantly reminds us to be critical of the information we're given
Mm-hmm.
and to consider different viewpoints.
Mm-hmm. It's like he's saying, don't just accept labels at face value.
Right.
Think for yourself, question the narrative, and
Yeah.
be aware of the inherent biases that shape our understanding of the world.
Precisely. And that critical lens is crucial,
Yeah.
especially in a world where information can be easily manipulated and distorted.
So we've explored Sagan's fascination with science, his emphasis on critical thinking,
Yeah.
and his wellness of human biases.
Right.
But there's another element to his work that makes it so compelling.
What's that?
His genuine awe and wonder
Mm.
in the face of the universe's mysteries.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That sense of awe is palpable throughout his writing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about understanding the universe.
Right.
It's about experiencing its grandeur,
Yeah.
its vastness,
Yeah.
its sheer incomprehensibility.
And that brings us to one of the most exhilarating moments in Contact. The moment Ellie discovers that prime number sequence hidden within the signal from Vega, that whispered, "Holy shit."
Yes. Perfectly captures the thrill of scientific breakthrough, the exhilaration of uncovering something profound and unexpected in the vastness of space.
It's a moment that speaks to the very essence of scientific exploration.
Yeah.
The pursuit of knowledge for its own sake.
Right.
The joy of uncovering the secrets of the universe.
Yeah.
And it's a feeling that Sagan, with his infectious enthusiasm, was able to share with millions of people around the world.
So we've kind of laid the groundwork here.
We have.
Explored Sagan's childhood, his core beliefs, and that incredible spark of curiosity that fueled his life's work.
It's amazing.
Now let's delve a little deeper into Contact, to the heart of Ellie's journey, and the profound questions she grapples with as she ventures into the unknown. What stands out to you as particularly significant?
Oh, there's so much to unpack.
Yeah.
But I think what's most striking is how Sagan uses Ellie's character.
To explore the challenges and triumphs of scientific inquiry. She's not just a brilliant scientist. She's a flawed, complex human being who struggles with doubt, prejudice, and the limitations of her own understanding. And that's what makes her journey so relatable, so compelling.
You've hit on something really important.
I have.
Yeah, it's not just about the science. It's about the human element, the emotional core of the story. And that's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good. Picking up where we left off Ellie's journey really takes flight when she discovers that the signal from Vega contains more than just prime numbers. It's actually a complex blueprint for a machine.
Oh, wow.
A machine that theoretically could transport a human being across vast interstellar distances.
It's a mind-blowing concept.
It is.
And it raises so many questions. Is it safe? What are the implications? Should we even attempt to build such a thing? Sagan doesn't shy away from exploring those anxieties.
No, he doesn't.
And it's clear that he recognized the weight of such a decision.
What's particularly interesting is how he uses the debate over building the machine to mirror real-world challenges we face as a global society. Think about climate change or pandemics. These are issues that require international collaboration. A willingness to put aside national self-interest for the greater good.
It highlights that tension, right?
It does.
Between our innate curiosity, our drive to explore the unknown, and our fear of the potential consequences. It's like that age-old question, how much are we willing to risk in the pursuit of knowledge?
And those risks aren't always predictable or easily quantifiable. The book really highlights the difficulty of assessing the potential consequences of advanced technology, especially when we might not fully understand how it works.
There's also this recurring theme of sabotage in Contact.
Oh, really?
With various groups trying to disrupt the project for different reasons.
Interesting.
It's a sobering reminder that even in the face of something as potentially unifying as contact with an alien civilization, human pettiness and division can still get in the way.
It makes you wonder, can we ever truly transcend those differences and work together towards a common goal? Or are we inherently limited by our own biases and self-interest?
Those are some heavy questions, they are. And speaking of challenging assumptions, one detail that really stuck with me is when Ellie's going through all these intricate steps to decode the signal. And she has this thought about how if she tried to explain it to a scientist from 1,000 years ago, they wouldn't even have the framework to understand it.
It's a brilliant way of illustrating the exponential growth of knowledge and how quickly our understanding of the universe can change. It really makes you appreciate how far we've come as a species, but also how much we still don't know.
It also makes the challenge of communicating with an alien civilization even more daunting.
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine trying to bridge that gap in understanding when you might not even be speaking the same conceptual language. It's mind-boggling.
And that's something Sagan was keenly aware of. He recognized the limitations of our own perspective and how that might hinder our ability to truly comprehend another intelligence, especially one vastly more advanced. It's a theme that runs throughout his work. This humility in the face of the unknown.
And speaking of different perspectives, let's talk about Palmer Joss. He's a fascinating character.
He is.
This religious leader who serves as a sort of spiritual counterpoint to Ellie's scientific worldview.
Right.
Their interactions are so thought-provoking.
They are.
Especially given Sagan's own views on the relationship between science and religion.
It's interesting that Sagan doesn't portray Joss as some kind of anti-science zealot.
Right.
He's a complex character, sincere in his beliefs.
Right.
And he raises some valid questions about the limits of scientific inquiry.
Yeah.
And the importance of faith.
Exactly. It's not a simple science versus religion battle.
No.
Sagan clearly respected the power of faith.
He did.
But he also believed that science could offer its own kind of awe and wonder.
Right.
Its own path to understanding the universe.
What strikes me is how Ellie and Joss, despite their differing viewpoints, are able to engage in meaningful dialogue.
Right.
They challenge each other, push each other to think more deeply. But there's a mutual respect there.
They both seem to share this deep-seated yearning for truth, even if they approach it from different angles. It's like Sagan is saying that science and religion don't have to be at odds.
Right.
They can actually complement each other in our search for meaning.
There's that scene where they're discussing the concept of the numinous.
Oh, yeah.
That feeling of awe and wonder we experience when confronted with something greater than ourselves. Ellie argues that science can evoke that feeling just as powerfully as religion can.
It's a beautiful idea.
It is.
Sagan seems to be suggesting that both science and religion can offer us a glimpse of the transcendent, a connection to something larger than ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not about choosing one over the other.
Right.
It's about recognizing the different ways in which we experience the universe and our place within it.
And that's what makes Contact so resonant.
Yeah.
It goes beyond a simple sci-fi adventure and delves into these fundamental questions about humanity.
Right.
Our place in the cosmos.
Yeah.
And our ongoing search for meaning.
Now, getting back to the story,
Okay.
the actual construction of the machine in Contact is a massive undertaking.
It is.
It requires the collaboration of multiple nations, pushing the boundaries of technology, and pushing the boundaries of international relations as well.
It's a testament to Sagan's vision.
Right.
That he was able to capture the complexity of such a global endeavor. He portrays the different nations involved, their motivations, their strengths and weaknesses, and the intricate dance of cooperation and competition that unfolds.
There's a scene where a Soviet scientist commenting on the risks of building the machine says something like, "I thought people would be very cautious about building this machine, but there may be some coming tomorrow who will urge immediate construction."
It's a subtle but insightful observation about human nature.
Right.
We have this inherent drive to explore, to push the boundaries, but also this caution, this fear of the unknown. It's a constant balancing act.
And in the book, not everyone is thrilled about the prospect of contact with an alien civilization.
Really?
We see various attempts to sabotage the project.
Oh, wow.
Driven by fear, ideology, or just plain self-interest.
Right.
It's a stark reminder that even when presented with something as potentially unifying as this, human division can still rear its ugly head.
It raises a question that's very relevant to us today.
What's that?
Can we overcome those divisions and work together to address the challenges facing humanity? Or are we destined to repeat those patterns of conflict and mistrust?
So the machine is built.
It is.
But the question remains, who gets to go?
Right.
The crew selection process is a fascinating mix of scientific qualifications, political maneuvering, and even a bit of psychological profiling.
It's a testament to Sagan's understanding of human nature. That he recognized that choosing the right people for such a mission wouldn't be based solely on scientific expertise. They would need to be individuals of extraordinary character, resilient, adaptable, and able to represent humanity in its best light.
And there's this underlying tension throughout the selection process about who gets to represent humanity in this first contact scenario.
Right.
It raises all sorts of questions about power, privilege, and whose voices are heard and valued.
It's a theme that resonates deeply today.
Right.
As we strive for greater inclusivity and representation in all aspects of society, including science and exploration, who gets a seat at the table?
Right.
Whose stories are told? Whose perspectives shape our understanding of the world?
Yeah.
These are questions that Sagan was clearly grappling with.
Now let's talk about the actual journey through the machine.
Okay.
Ellie and the crew experience these incredible mind-bending phenomena.
Oh, wow.
They travel through tunnels of light, encounter strange beings, and witness events that defy explanation.
Right.
It's a wild ride.
And yet when they finally emerge from the machine, they find themselves on a beach.
A beach.
Yes.
It's a scene that has sparked endless debate among readers.
It has.
Some see it as a cop-out, others as a symbol of something deeper. What's your take on it?
I think it's brilliant. The ambiguity of the scene forces us to confront our own expectations.
Right.
We anticipate something grand, something monumental.
Yeah.
But instead, we're presented with something familiar, something almost mundane.
Right.
It challenges us to reconsider what we consider meaningful, what we consider evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence.
It's like Sagan is saying, don't get so caught up in your preconceived notions of what alien contact should look like, that you miss the wonder of what's right in front of you.
Exactly. And I think it speaks to Sagan's view of the universe as a place of infinite possibilities, where the familiar and the extraordinary can coexist.
Now, even though Ellie's journey seems to end on this seemingly ordinary beach, there are hints that something more profound has occurred.
Okay.
She returns to Earth changed, with a new understanding of her place in the universe, and a deep conviction that what she experienced was real. But can she convince others?
That's where we'll delve in next.
Okay.
Into the aftermath of Ellie's return. The challenges she faces. And the profound questions she continues to grapple with. It's a journey that forces her to confront not only the skepticism of the world, but also the limits of her own understanding.
Sounds like we're in for a fascinating ride. So we left off with Ellie back on Earth, grappling with the aftermath of her incredible journey.
Yeah, it's such a stark contrast to the wonders she experienced, coming back to a world that's seemingly unchanged. Yet she's forever altered by what she's seen.
It's that dissonance that makes this final part of Contact so compelling.
Absolutely.
Imagine stepping back into your everyday life after having your entire worldview shifted. How do you reconcile those two realities? How do you even begin to explain what you've been through?
It's like trying to describe a dream to someone who wasn't there. The essence of the experience is so personal, so difficult to convey.
And in Ellie's case, she's not just dealing with the challenge of articulating the indescribable, but also with this wave of skepticism and disbelief.
And that skepticism comes from all sides.
Oh, yeah.
Government officials interrogate her. Scientists dismiss her claims. And the media sensationalizes her story.
Of course.
It's almost as if the world isn't ready to accept the possibility of what she's encountered.
There's this incredible scene where Ellie's being questioned by this panel of experts. They're grilling her, trying to find holes in her story. And she throws this line back at them.
Oh, wow.
I have seen the face of God, and it was us.
What a powerful statement. It speaks to the idea that the truly awe-inspiring, the truly divine, isn't necessarily found in some external deity or supernatural force. But within ourselves, within our capacity for imagination, for exploration, for pushing the boundaries of what we believe is possible.
It's a reminder that we're capable of incredible things.
We are.
Both as individuals and as a species.
Yes.
We have the power to reach for the stars, to connect with something larger than ourselves.
Absolutely.
But it also begs the question.
What's that?
Are we ready to accept the responsibility that comes with that power?
And that responsibility goes beyond just the scientific realm. It touches on ethical considerations, philosophical questions, and even the very nature of belief itself.
And you see that playing out in Contact.
You do.
As different characters react to Ellie's experience in vastly different ways. Palmer Joss, the religious leader, interprets it through the lens of his faith. Seeing it as confirmation of God's existence. Others see it as a threat. Something to be feared and controlled.
Sagan doesn't offer easy answers. He presents these different perspectives, allowing the reader to grapple with the complexity of the issue. And form their own conclusions.
It's a testament to his ability
to
engage with these profound questions without resorting to simple answers or preaching a particular point of view.
He invites us to think critically, to examine our own biases, and to acknowledge the vastness of what we don't yet know.
Now, despite the external pressures and skepticism,
Right.
Ellie remains steadfast in her conviction that what she experienced was real.
No.
She dives deep into the scientific data she gathered, searching for patterns, for clues, for some deeper meaning hidden within the noise.
It's like she's on a dual mission.
Yeah.
Trying to convince the world of the truth,
right,
while also trying to understand the truth herself.
And I think that's where the ending of Contact gets really fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Without giving too much away, Ellie discovers something embedded within the very fabric of reality.
Wow.
Something hidden within the infinite digits of pi.
It's a discovery that blurs the lines between science and spirituality.
Right.
Suggesting that the universe might hold secrets.
Yeah.
Far beyond our current comprehension.
It's a moment that evokes a sense of awe and wonder. A feeling that we're part of something much larger than ourselves.
Yes.
It's almost as if Sagan is suggesting that the search for truth, whether through scientific inquiry or spiritual exploration, can lead us to a deeper understanding of our place in the cosmos.
And that, I think, is the enduring legacy of Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
He inspired us to look beyond ourselves, to question our assumptions, to embrace the unknown, and to never stop exploring the mysteries of the universe, both within and without.
He reminded us that the journey of discovery is never truly over. There's always more to learn, more to explore, more to wonder about.
Absolutely.
And that, I think, is the perfect note to end on.
It is.
So as you continue your own explorations, keep Sagan's spirit of curiosity alive.
Right.
Keep asking questions.
Yes.
Keep seeking answers.
Yeah.
And keep your sense of wonder intact.
And remember, somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known.